Hello everyone! So I wanted this video to talk about culture in China, as I've been here for 7 or 8 months now, and I've experienced a lot of things. I've lived in people's homes that are Chinese, I have a Chinese housemate, I work in a Chinese culture, and I've got involved in lots of activities here, and there's a few customs that I thought people might like to hear about. So for starters, if you ever enter a Chinese person's house, you need to take off your shoes and wear the slippers that they give you. This is not only so the floor stays clean, but also because your shoes tend to have urine on them because of the squatty potty toilets, so they're not the cleanest things in the world. So do take off those shoes and put on those slippers. Next is bringing a gift to someone's house. The first time you visit, it's really polite to bring some kind of gift. I've been given a massive box of fruit, of kiwi and apples, and that's their way of showing respect that they're in your home. So bring a nice little gift. And if you don't know what to bring, in most supermarkets there's little red boxes that you can buy, and they have gifts already pre-set in them that you can take to people's homes. Next, so if you decide to go on a wild night out and you're starting drinking beer, they'll tend to give it to you at room temperature, not in a fridge, and if you ask for it to be cold, they will come out with a glass of ice, suggesting that you pour your beer into the ice, or you can put the bottle of beer in the ice, which does nothing. So you have a choice, room temperature beer or beer with ice. I usually take the room temperature beer. They also give it to you with these little glasses about this size, and when you drink, you tend to have a buddy if you're with a Chinese person. So if you want to drink, you cheers them and you drink together. And what you can say is "Ganbei," which essentially means down it. So if you're with someone and they cheers you and go "Ganbei," you then need to down your drink. Next, try your best to avoid any political talk with a stranger. It's a sensitive topic and it can come off very disrespectful, and especially if you're new to this culture, you might not realise what things are socially acceptable and polite, and it's not the same in England where we're really open about our democracy and that we're allowed to be critical. In this society, you don't want to say things that come out in the wrong way, and you don't want to criticise without even having knowledge yourself. Like, it's really easy to say, "Oh, your way's wrong." But the thing is, you don't know enough to say it's wrong, and why is it their way just because it's different means it's wrong? So with politics, tread lightly. I try and avoid it unless you know that person really well and they're open. But you've got to really have an understanding of their history and their situation and have a really open-minded view on it. Next. In this country, it's all about big meals. Not like lots of little things throughout the day, no snacking. You want to have a really big you want a really big breakfast, which is really Chinese dinner. It's got like a mixture of vegetables, maybe for lucky some fruit, eggs, just like general food that's Chinese, but you have it for breakfast. And then you'll have a really big lunch and a smaller dinner, which is obviously better for your digestion. And they have it because in schools, eating is a communal thing. You have it in a canteen. You don't tend to eat at home. So you will eat a lot more while you're at work. And I really like that. I think it's nice that everyone has a good filling meal to help them get through the day. Next, the talking here. So the way Chinese people talk to you may come off as rude at first, but really they're very direct. They tell you as it is. They're not going to sugarcoat it. It doesn't mean they're being rude. They'll just do it as it is. Same with their text messages. They'll text you as soon as they can. Sorry, my cat's meowing. I'll text you straight away, and they want to get things done here and now. They're very in the moment. They don't procrastinate. If you get a chance, if you're ever in China, go to a tea ceremony. When I was in Fujian province, staying with my friend's grandparents, they did our own little tea ceremony, and it's wonderful. They have all the little cups out, and they pour hot water all over them, and then to clean them and keep them warm. And then they pour the tea in, and you just sip it and enjoy the flavours, and you get to try so many different types of tea from it. And it's really about the experience, not just drinking the tea for the hell of it. It's appreciating that moment and embracing the flavour, and it keeps you calm, enjoying its company. I really recommend going to one. Next, it's really common to link arms here. So if you're a girl, you'll see a lot of girls linking arms together. And at first I thought, oh, there's a lot of people that are really embracing both sexualities, and this is really nice to see. But a lot of the time they're not actually gay, they're just really like fine with linking arms. Same with boys, they might do it too. And they also hold hands, the girls hold their hands a lot, which is fine. I mean, it's nice, it shows they care about each other. It's really common here for the grandparents to raise the kids more than the parents. So the parents' core responsibility is to work, earn the money for the house. The grandparents will look after the kids after school, they'll cook the foods, they'll look after the family. And the same will go on when their kids have kids, and their grandparents essentially become the parent role, which we have in Western society. So they just kind of skip the parents being the parent duties to the grandparents. And that's just the way it's been. Yeah, I think if that works in this country, then sure, go ahead. And it saves money for having carers and nurseries. Last thing on my list is warm water. If you go to a restaurant, don't expect cold water. It will always be a nice glass of warm water. You're having a hot Sichuan meal, you'll have a hot glass of water. You're having a curry, you'll have a hot glass of water with it. So learn to appreciate that. Or learn how to say cold water in Chinese. But to be honest, if you do that, you'll end up with a bottle because you don't want to drink the tap water in China, as it's not got clean pipes, and so it's really bad to drink the tap water. So yeah, that's my whole jumble of cultural things that you need to know if you ever come and visit. Overall message is embrace being in this country, enjoy it, accept both views, and try and experience everything. Like today I did a cooking class and learned how to make shanxi noodles. And in the past I've made ceramics, and it was all taught in Chinese for the ceramics one. And it's great to get involved in these things. So if you're planning on going to China anytime soon, I say good luck and enjoy it.